reporting from Durango, Colorado, making this video to share a little bit about me and how I'm preparing myself to take on the Tour Divide mountain bike race, which is a 2,500 mile mountain bike race that follows dirt roads, paved roads, and single track from Canada to the US-Mexico border. It goes through the Rocky Mountains, has 200,000 feet of climbing, and it will be by far the most challenging thing I've ever signed myself up for. I'm mostly doing it just because I want to see if I can, I want to see if I can, if I have the capacity to do 80 to 100 miles per day for 25 to 32 days. And to kind of see where my body goes with that kind of challenge, and my mind as well, because the mental aspect is also huge. By doing these things and signing up for these challenges, it really pushes me in ways that I don't get pushed otherwise. So it's a great challenge for me mentally and physically. I'm an adventure cyclist. That is my career. I'm sponsored by Specialized, Rafa, Ride with GPS, and Ombras, and they really support the lifestyle that I live. I go on adventures. I put on bike events. I write stories. I take photographs, and trying to get into video. I grew up mostly in Cincinnati, Ohio, at the suburbs of Cincinnati, Ohio. I did get a job at a bike rental when I was 12 years old. I just learned how much joy the bicycle brings to people, and how it can really change people's lives and pushes people outside of their comfort zone. And I was really attracted to that. After I graduated from college, I opened my own bike shop with my partner at the time, and we ran and operated Swallow Bicycle Works for almost 5 years. And at the end of that 5 years, we closed our bike shop, and we took off on our bikes, and we rode east to west across the country on a dual sport motorcycle route that followed all dirt roads. And that was really my first biggest bike tour. And so that was 6 years ago, and so I'm really curious to see how this experience on the Tour Divide compares to that experience on the Trans-America Trail 6 years ago, and see if I'm any smarter or fitter. I'm going to be riding a Specialized Epic hardtail bike equipped with drop bars and aero bars and 2.3-inch fast track tires. I usually have a rack on the back and a really big bag in the front panniers, and I like the comforts of all the different camping stuff. So I usually have a really nice tent and really plush sleeping pad and all the extras, but this trip I'm really trying to train myself to pare down and use the most minimal amount of equipment as possible. But we'll get into that more in our gear video. Okay, so I have these anonymous questions. I'm not quite sure where they came from, but they're here in my hand. I've never seen them before. So I'm just gonna go through these and answer these questions, and hopefully, maybe you have the same questions, and yeah, they'll be helpful. Here we go. First question is, does this challenge compare to something you have previously done? I'd say the closest thing I have done to this challenge is the TAT, which is not the adventure cycling Trans-America Trail, but the dual sport motorcycle route that follows dirt roads across the country. So that ride was 5,000 miles and around 350,000 feet of climbing, and we were probably averaging between 80 and 100 miles for the first month and a half of that trip. So I'm kind of, when I think about the Tour Divide, I'm thinking a lot about how I was feeling on the TAT. It's kind of hard because the TAT was also one of my very first bike tours. So I've really learned a lot since then, and I've changed a lot since then. So yeah, I'm just, but it's also kind of like that meter that I'm kind of comparing the Tour Divide to. Doing the Tour Divide is enough of a challenge that will impress and inspire many. Why is it important for you to also have the goal of raising $5,000 for the Cairn Project? Yeah, so I am fundraising for the Cairn Project through this challenge. It's important to me because I think it's what the Cairn Project does is they donate money. They allow you to use your adventures to fundraise so that they can donate those funds to an outdoor program that focuses on getting more young girls and preteen girls out in the outdoors. I think that's super important because I think that could have an outdoor program like that could have helped me. I know so many people that it could help at that young age, to find that you love the outdoors and to be able to you know, have that focus and have that, you know, sense of purpose and passion at that young age is really important, because I kind of lost that at that age, and I kind of went through my adolescent and my teen and young adult phases, and I really struggled. You know, I didn't really know what I wanted to do in life, and I was kind of getting into trouble, and when I found the bike, all of a sudden it was kind of like the lights had turned on, and I realized that this was something that I really loved to do, and that I was able to get the experiences that provided me with a certain amount of like lust for life that I had been lacking before. So yeah, I just think it's super important, and to get girls outdoors at that young age, and for them to know and appreciate the outdoors, and know that it's always a space that you can come back to and feel free and be yourself, and push yourself too. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it, and I hope you all will donate to my GoFundMe campaign after you watch this video. So please do that. Any amount really helps. It's a huge goal. It's $5,000, and that will fund an entire program. So yeah, help me get to that goal. We've got some time, but you know, any little bit helps, and every little bit motivates me to keep pedaling more. So thank you. What would be the worst outcome for you? That's a good question. Let me think about that for a second. I think the worst outcome would be, you know, injury. What would be the best outcome? I think the best outcome would definitely be finishing within the amount of time that I have allotted myself. You know, I say that like the fastest time I can imagine myself finishing is 25 days, and the limit that I only have 32 days, so I can only be out there for 32 days. And have fun. Do you feel competitive with other participants? At the moment, I do not feel very competitive with other participants, but I have a feeling that once I get out there with the group start and riding with other people, I will feel a bit more competitive, just in the sense of that they will push me to ride further, ride faster than I would by myself. In terms of like where I place within the other folks who are participating in this event, I can't say that I really do care where I end up. I'm mostly just focused on being able to achieve my goal, which is to finish, and to finish in under 32 days. Are you lying? I don't think so. Oh gosh. No, I don't think so. I mean, you never know. You never know. There might be someone that really inspires competition within me. So, yeah. What do you predict to be the hardest part? I was riding on one of my recent bike tours, and I was riding uphill into a headwind for 35 mile an hour headwinds for like 50 miles. and that was really hard. And it was really hard to keep a positive mental space with that. But my partner Adam reminds me of, and I don't know where he got this mantra from, but I'm trying to remember it throughout all these times, that my suffering is nothing special. And so, you know, if I'm riding into a headwind for 30 and a 35 mile an hour headwind for 50 miles, a lot of other people are doing that, but I'm also choosing to do that, and a lot of other people are suffering in a lot worse ways. So it's nothing too important. So it's all about the mental and the headspace for me. So I think that's going to be the hardest part. How has your experience prepared you for this? Well, I am very used to riding, you know, anywhere from 9 to 14 hours on the bike. I've done lots of gravel races, 150 to 200 mile gravel races. I've done, and I've done many bike tours. I've probably bike toured in 18 different countries. I've bike toured from 1 month to 2 months at a time. Be it I tend to go, you know, fewer miles per day during those bike tours, but still the element of, you know, getting into a rhythm of living on the bike and living that way day in and day out is something I'm very familiar with and something that I really love. So I am looking forward to that, and I think that if anything, that experience will help me throughout the Tour Divide, because I have spent so long. I have done really long trips before, and I feel really comfortable traveling outdoors and traveling over long distances. So yeah, good question. How prepared do you feel at this point in time? Pretty prepared. I feel very close. You know, I feel like I'm still dialing in some gear stuff. Like I said, I gotta kind of get a few more parts dialed on the bike. I'm still kind of sorting out a few of my kits, and I think that I've got a pretty good base right now. I think I'll have an even better base in 3 weeks, and so yeah, just focusing on really like my core and my flexibility, and just getting used to riding the bike every day, and just kind of gradually increasing that time spent on the bike, and while also doing bike tours to dial in the gear. But the last bike tour I went on, I was really happy with my setup, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty close. And that's it. Thank you for the questions. Thanks for watching this, and yeah, thanks Georgia for doing this for me and making me look a little bit more entertaining. All right, catch you later.